Hi everybody, Marty Rubin, and I'm back for another segment of Marty's Corner. And today we have Courtney Balan, who is playing the scheming, diabolical,
oh boy,
villainous, but always entertaining
thanks.
Ursula.
That's right.
In the hit musical Disney, The Little Mermaid.
Yeah.
So when I just said Ursula, I think I got the shivers. How is a nice, sweet person like you able to be such a convincing villain?
Oh, it's so thrilling. You get to tap into that part of you that you don't let out most of the time, you know, like when someone cuts you off in traffic, that feeling.
Right, right.
You get to do that for, 2.5 hours. So
What you're saying is it's fun to be the villain?
it's so much fun to be the villain. I often play the nice guy, so I
So
really
this is a change.
oh yeah, this is really fun.
So I just recently interviewed Kimberly Emanuel, who's playing Ariel. And
Yes.
she's from Long Island.
That's right.
And I understand you live on Long Island.
I live here now, yeah.
So where do you live on Long Island?
I live in Oyster Bay. My husband is a high school theater teacher, so that is really the good work that he is doing.
Right.
He is changing young lives, and I think about the impact that teachers have had in my life, and I'm just so thrilled that
Right.
he is doing that for other people. And so he teaches at a school called the Portledge School in
Okay.
Locust Valley. And so after a long time living in Midtown Manhattan, we made the plunge and came out here.
Nice, nice,
Yeah.
nice. Your costume as Ursula
Yeah.
is so outrageous.
Oh, it's
It's so
phenomenal.
awesome. when you put that on, is that when you get into full Ursula persona?
I told our amazing costume designer, Kurt, who I've worked with before, and I feel like we just understand each other, that she came to life when like I had done whatever work I could do, and then the costume often informs you, but this one in particular.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's the way it causes you to stand a certain way. It gives you a different kind of bottom heavy.
It's have a life of its own, right?
Yes, and so it gives me so much traction for creating evil.
Yes. So I'm a sports guy, Courtney.
Okay.
All right. So there's a real role for a villain in sports.
Uh-huh.
I'll give you a for instance. All right.
Okay.
So the basketball New York Knicks, when they made the playoffs every year, they played a team called Indiana Pacers, and there was a guy on that team named Reggie Miller. He was a great player. He played the villain every night at Madison Square Garden. He would torment the Knicks, and he would, the fans would. He would make faces at the fans. The audience didn't like him, but they respected him.
Okay.
So now, Courtney, when you're playing Ursula,
Yeah.
and you're tormenting Ariel,
Uh-huh.
and you feel the audience getting upset at you, does that give you a rush as the villain?
Yeah, I have to say, like, she is the villain, but she has her own story.
Yes.
She comes from some sad times. She didn't choose to do good with that. She chose to do evil with that, but she has her own story. So I don't really think of her as simple as the villain or evil. She is a complex character, even though
Yes.
she's a cartoon, essentially. But so yeah, I find that I'm also trying to get the audience on my side to understand.
And it's interesting because you're so entertaining that they don't hate you.
Well, good. That's boring, right? Like, who wants? It's too obvious if it's just good and evil. Like,
That's right.
that's not real, and it doesn't reflect real life. And it's more interesting if Ariel has her side and
Yes.
Ursula has her side. And I think that Kimmy and I, we've sort of talked about this, like that we have found that, and we've found the way that these two characters actually
Yes.
feed off each other. And
So when you heard that Argyle Theater was doing
Yeah.
Disney The Little Mermaid, what drew you to the role of Ursula?
Everyone says, was this a dream role? And it wasn't. Like, I didn't, it wasn't on my radar. I'm not a huge Disney fan. I don't not like it. It's not, I don't love it the way that so many people are so passionate about it. But The Little Mermaid was the first Disney movie musical that I remember watching. Because that's like right when I was a little kid that they started revamping the movie cartoon, musical cartoon, I should say. And so I always kind of thought, if I were to do a Disney show, that role, it seems like the most suited to me, and not because we're alike, but because of where my sense of humor is.
Yes.
And where my power lies. And I have had friends who've played the role, and I just always, they've raved and had the most fun.
Right.
So
It's a fun role.
yeah, so when it came my way, I was like, oh, okay, now it is a dream role.
Yes. There's been so many families, you see it, all the kids here, and it's such a nice family show.
Yeah.
Why do you think it's such a crowd pleaser, Little Mermaid?
You know what? I didn't even expect to be as blown away by the piece itself, slash the way that Tara directed it and that Jonathan led it as a musician, and the way that this cast has like filled in all of the gaps of the cartoon. I sat in the rehearsal room watching it being like, this is actually such an incredibly moving experience. I definitely choked up many times just watching, because there's so many moments where I'm not in that I could actually sit and observe. And it's just a really well-crafted show, well put together by our team and well performed by our actors. So it's just kind of the complete package, and it looks beautiful.
Yes, it's a great.
Everyone who's seen the pictures and the videos have been like, those production values are pretty amazing.
You just mentioned rehearsal.
Yeah.
So during rehearsal, can you tell right away, like, that the chemistry is going to be there between the actors? Like, right from the top, it's undeniable, the chemistry that you and Kimberly have. But can you tell that it's going to be there? Everyone's going to gel and really click on stage?
I can't think of a show that I've done recently or ever where the group doesn't just come together. That's kind of like the sense of community in theater is so great. It's like your sports analogy, it's a team,
right.
And if one of us isn't pulling our weight, then, the team doesn't do as well. And so everyone's really forced to pull their weight and wants to do it for the other actors and the other teammates. And so like right away this group is already like that. I came in a couple days late, so they had already sort of established, and the minute I walked in they embraced.
That's so great.
And and it was just it was so easy. But theater people, it's like you don't know a stranger, like we barely know each other, but we know everything about each other. It's not like small talk when you are with theater people. Like right away, you know their life, you know their history, you know where they came from, what their dreams are. And like this group in particular, like I'm still learning, but it's such a beautiful and open group.
It really is.
Yeah, I'm so lucky.
So now, growing up, did you envision that you were going to go into the acting profession? I mean, were you in shows when you were a kid and school plays and everything like that?
Yeah, of course, yeah. I did, yeah. I don't think I ever thought there would be anything else. And there have been moments in my professional career where I've thought, is there something else? Because this is hard. But no, I just keep coming back to it.
Yeah, well, I have to tell you that Courtney Balan, she is a wicked Ursula and puts on such a great show. And the rest of this wonderful cast. So come on down to the Argyle Theater, and we're playing straight through to Sunday, February 23rd, and we can't wait to see you all out here.